Hello everyone and welcome to your show Around Kuwait. This is your host Abdulaziz Darwish. As usual, we share with you about the latest events and even occasions in our lovely country state of Kuwait. And even also you already know our camera crew traveling everywhere to check with you about the latest events happening. And sometimes in our episode we have a distinguished guest who's gonna join us. We're gonna talk about the different aspects and even different interests. And before we start, I would like to greet our working crew and even my colleague Hiba. Hello Hiba, and happy to see you today.
Hello Abdulaziz, and a great welcome to all of the viewers who are watching us today in a new episode of Around Kuwait. As you know, Abdulaziz, we are of course in February, and February is the month of Kuwait. A lot of people are celebrating, especially from the beginning until the end of February, the National Independence Day of Kuwait. May God protect our beloved country and everyone. And of course, when it comes into that, we have different kind of topics and of course great headlines, especially if we're talking more about today's episode and focusing more about it in general.
And even in addition, today we're going to talk about different perspective, something about food, because food is a universal language. Then we'll talk about anatomy, and even we'll talk about we call it the cooperation for the GCC Council. We call it about oil and gas.
Yes.
So different perspective: food, science, and even engineering.
Yes, indeed. So with that, we're going to talk more about the first headline for today. It's going to be more of a cultural fusion, especially when it comes into Korean food and culture and style and everything in that category itself.
And even in our journey into the human body, we talk about a mind, an interactive exhibition at Abdullah Salim Cultural Center. We spoke about one of the great events where we talk about the anatomy to already aware the community and the children about how amazing the human body are.
Yes, indeed. And of course, as for our final headline for today, we're going to talk more about one of the, let's say, events that have been held, especially talking about petroleum events and talking more about the subdiaries when it comes into petrol itself and everything aside to that in that matter.
And even we talk about the Gulf Cooperation Council, Local Content Forum, the Kuwait Petroleum Corporation, and the commitment to development and collaboration. These kind of huge events, we spoke about something we call about economy and industry. We talk about oil and gas. I know, like, because we are living in the zone and the gas and oil, it's high demand in the GCC in the Middle East because it's like an important collaboration between different countries. So I guess these are about three main topics for today.
Yes, indeed. So dear viewers, going to continue after this report, so stay tuned with us.
Heart of the city, where cultures converged, the Korean Cultural Center stood as a vibrant hub for the exchange of traditions. Every corner echoed with the beats of K-pop, the essence of the Korean language, and the aromas of savory K-food. Amidst this cultural atmosphere, one of the main attractions was in the center, a space where diversity blended seamlessly with the rich knowledge of Korean heritage. Cook Korea, a celebrated one-day Korean cooking class, unfolded as a testament to the center's commitment to sharing the joys of K-culture. On this particular day, 30 participants hailing from various corners gathered with anticipation radiating in their eyes. The air filled with excitement as they prepared to embark on a culinary journey guided by the knowledgeable staff of the center. Under the attentive eyes and patient guidance of the staff, the participants divided into the art of crafting gimbap. As they carefully layered each ingredient on sheets of seaweed, the room became a canvas of shared enthusiasm, breaking down cultural barriers one rice roll at a time. Laughter and camaraderie filled the space, transcending language barriers and connecting hearts through the universal language of food. The culinary adventure continued with the creation of Royal Court Tteokbokki, a dish that carried the essence of Korean culinary tradition. The rice cakes, cooked in a special way known only to experts in Korean cuisine, became a symbol of the cultural exchange happening in that very moment. Each participant not only learned the nuances of Korean cooking, but also imbibed the spirit of togetherness that defined the center. As the aroma of the dishes filled the air, so did a sense of accomplishment and unity. The Cook Korea event not only showcased the flavors of Korea, but also became a melting pot of shared experiences, fostering a deep appreciation for the beauty found found in diversity. The Korean Cultural Center, through events like these, continued to bridge gaps and weave a tapestry where threads of various cultures intertwined harmoniously.
We are back to our show again around Kuwait, dear viewers watching us through the KTV2. And before the break, we spoke about the three topics about our show around Kuwait. So Hiba, we're gonna talk about our first topic for today, about the Korean style, the cultural festival for the food industry.
Yes, indeed, and especially that's actually been done by the Korean Culture Center itself, and it served a very amazing and lively cooking show that was presented in the event itself. And I'm very sure when you're talking about Korea, people are really now into knowing the culture more. We've seen so many people who are really interested when we're talking more about K-pop culture and getting into that field itself. Therefore, you're going to see so many intellectuals, especially if you're talking more about teenagers. Abdulaziz, especially teenagers, they get really fast influenced by everything and all surroundings. So Korea was actually being presented in that matter itself from a very long time ago, and still, especially within the youth, and that love actually starts to grow through everyone in that matter. And you can see people being associated, especially through with the help of the Korean Culture Center, to present such great work and facility for everyone who really loves cooking, enjoy their time when it comes into exploring different kind of culture, and especially talking more about Korea.
And even in addition, I spoke more about the Republic of Korea itself. Like the people who's working in the embassy in the state of Kuwait, the Republic of Korea embassy, the state of Kuwait, they are doing a huge, marvelous job to promoting about their culture and the industry in the state of Kuwait when it comes to about the events, food, culture, music nights, and their drama, their movies. Let's talk more about the food. I know like people now, they are into the the East of Asia food style. Especially Republic of Korea, they have their different type of food industry. Their chefs, their cooking, their restaurants are different because people in the Middle East knows like when it comes to the Japanese and Chinese food, but if you think like they have variety of collections different, like I know the Koreans, they are already going into the eggs more than the other countries more, and they have their own style of like baking, their own steak, their own style of cooking, and even the diverse they are doing, the spices are different than the other countries. They already, we call their neighborhood countries. So imagine if you are publishing in a good event in the state of Kuwait, and they are promoting and they are attracting the teenagers, the people are into the field, and maybe they are interested to know more about the Korean industry when it comes to the art, culture, and food. So it's a good time people noticing, and they are seeing the new style of the cooking style of the Korean, and they're bringing also the Korean chefs and the Kuwaiti chefs and even Arab chefs. They are cooperating together, like imagine they are doing something, and they are tasting, like live tasting. I know like you've been to the Horeca to be an MC before. The interaction with the audience, and the people came just to try and taste one of the certain foods. So it's a good opportunity like to be in a relationship to talk more about the food. Food is a universal language. So if you taste something, you know about the different culture, the spices. And let's talk more about the visitors itself. I know it's a good thing like they are attracting like not any certain visitors, all kind of visitors, but when they want to attract the teenagers, they are the future leaders, future generation. You want just to try to know more about the K-pop and the K, we call it the K food industry. It's a good opportunity, Hiba.
I totally agree with you on that, and especially when we're talking more about such event, it's very great because it's not just associating about new things or talking more about a certain genre, but it's actually a presentation about tradition, heritage, everything that is related with the country itself, and representing it in a more perfect and prestigious way, because they are so into their culture, they're so into tradition, they're so into history itself. Therefore, when they present for you a meal, they're not just presenting a meal and ingredients and that's it, but they actually teach you a lesson in how this meal was discovered, or when was it discovered, and what is the whole story behind it. talking more about the ingredients, because we know it is more of a difficult field and market.
Yeah, sure, yes.
Talking about Korean ingredients, we have some kind of stores. So attending these events will help people who are really associated and very loving for cooking and trying to create something new at home to actually know where to actually find. It's very difficult once you mess up with one of the ingredients to cook a certain meal, especially if we're talking about Korean food. There's a kind of salt that they actually use.
Yes.
If you don't use that correct salt, then that's it. The dish will be ruined. It wouldn't be taste the same, because the type of salt that they use, especially when we're talking about the ingredients, is way different than the normal salt. This is one of the tricks that they have. So we can see that, especially when it comes into the industry and in the field itself, it's very reviving to see people having this kind of interaction with native and citizens of Korea, having that opportunity being presented in front of them. It's like spoon feeding everyone when it comes into, taking bits and bites about Korea. But at the same time, it's not just about food, but it's all about a history of a country, and a very magnificent way. They always say that in order for you to reach for a happy man is to make him with a satisfied, happy belly. Therefore, for humans, food was still and always one of the source of happiness. So having this kind of event is very great, because you are collecting everyone on a beautiful meal. And in a beautiful meal, you gather, you sit together, you start to chat and talk about anything you like, and then you start to have this kind of great connection. They always say break a meal with someone, and then you will have this kind of bonded relationship.
And also the good thing, it's worth mentioning, there are 30 participants from Korea and from friendly countries. They participate for do cooking on air, for the audience. So it's a good opportunity for them, with the high laugh and a joyful and an optimistic atmosphere. They are cooking together for hours. And even, you mentioned something important, the East Asian food, it's not go with too much like spices like Republic of India.
Yes.
They're going with the flavor, with the audience, the same flavor. There's no too much spices. So it's a good opportunity. They want to create something to be creative, and this is not their country. Maybe the sources are not available here.
Yes.
So they are doing their best to pleasing the audience with the rice. They're cooking the rice cook and the others, like a Korean food, for we call it breakfast, lunch, and even the dinner, and even the snacks. They are cooking the 30 people. Everyone is doing different dishes, and people just come to taste and just enjoy and collaborating together.
Yes.
I know that people interested in the Koreans already culture, they are being there. They just want to taste it for the first time, and people already used to it, so just want to renew the experience. Maybe they traveled to Seoul before, so now it's a good opportunity that just want to check the new things. And let's talk more about the Jimbab, like this kind of opportunity. It's a good people together. They create some different events to them just to interact with the audience, and live shows and live cooking. And maybe you stole maybe some dishes before in Horeca, right?
Well, to be honest, it's something very beautiful. Again, I'm telling you, it's something very great, because it's more of a meal that makes you interact and have this kind of great sense and conversation. But what's really interesting?
You cooked with them?
No, to be honest, but I've watched them cooking and participating. It was very amazing to see. It's so difficult at the same time, because you're trying to mix all of the ingredients and try to create a perfect dish. And I think this is kind of the feeling that they actually face during the Korean event itself. But Abdulaziz, one of these events is very beautiful, is because we have this type of stereotype, especially when we see Korean series and these kind of, let's say, interaction, is that we always see them with the bowl of noodles and there is an egg,
Yes.
And you can see from the actor or actress that it is really spicy when they eat it. So once I've really tried it, because I was watching one of the Korean series and I was really influenced about the food.
Just want to try.
And because I was really hungry and I couldn't be satisfied only by trying to have exactly the same meal that the actress is actually having. So I managed to do it, and it was very delicious, but it was full of spicy. Like, it was really spicy food. The tempo was so high, but you really enjoy the experience. Like, interact by, let's say, watching a series and then eating the same meal that the actor or actress are having is something very beautiful. because you can sense that you are living the moment with them, So I think this kind of experience is very beautiful, especially for the ones who never been to Korea, and they are, people are really terrified. I want to go to a country, but I'm very scared. For instance, for me, I don't eat seafood, so I've heard that they have lots of seafood, and basically the main food for them is associated with seafood. And then to know that there is a side of food which is, let's say, more of, having chicken and kind of dishes was satisfying, because I was like, you know what, I'm not terrified to go there anymore.
And before I used to don't like the seafood. Now I am just now experiencing the seafood.
Yes.
So now I can say I feel good, because I know that the type of the we call it the meals, and maybe the categories of the meat. And the East Asia, they are into more the seafood more than us in the Middle East, like chicken and meat. So it's a good opportunity. You will see always it's like a universal language. You're baking in the culture. You're breaking the cultural barriers between the all countries. And let's talk more about the techniques of the cooking. I know when you go to the East Asia, Korea, the dishes, the plates, and the boiling time, and the counting the time, and how they are boiling the food with the water is different than the Middle Eastern countries. So it's a good thing. Even the people who are the professional chefs, maybe they are development chef, maybe operation chef, and they are from Middle East, maybe in Kuwait, they are checking their cooking technique and style. So now it's like a live cooking show, a live experience. No need just to travel to see. You will see in your front eyes and how they are cooking in front of them, even simple dishes. So you're learning how to do it. So it's so it's a good opportunity, you're learning something.
Learning more of a hack, let's say, and knowing more on how to create your own dish. What's very challenging and very beautiful and amazing is when you see the chef really into the meal, and then when he starts to flip the food on the pan itself, and you start to see wow, he's really, let's say he's really into it. He knows what he's doing. It's like it goes naturally when he actually moves in that kind of way in presenting the meal itself. Aside to that, one of the popular, let's say, dish, because as you just said, they explore different kind of seafood and category. And I mean, they've been known for the game, which is called Squid Game. So squid is one of the, let's say, favorite dish that they actually have and present. And I think it's very great to see that, because, it's the beauty is to explore something new. The beauty is to enjoy the culture of the city itself, and to enjoy the culture, to enjoy the city. It will never happen only if you do it exactly as they do. What do they start their breakfast with? What do they have for lunch? What are their snacks? They're very well known for their rice cake and the way that was presented. So I think it's very amazing, and it takes a courage for someone to do that and to explore it. So I think people are up for it.
People are offered and excited, and even they are eager to learn more. So I guess, the viewer, that was our first topic for today. Let's go to this next report. I will be back in your show Around Kuwait. Stay tuned.
Embarking on a fascinating journey into the wonders of the human body and mind. The exhibits unravel the secrets of our being, demonstrating the synchronized dance of the brain and body. They highlight the seamless harmony in their complex functions. Portraying the human brain as a supercomputer, the exhibits delve into its cognitive wonders, showcasing the processing power fueling our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Visitors gain insights into health challenges and the body's robust defense mechanisms. A captivating 4D show guided by the interactive character Kashif transforms the experience, unfolding the marvels of our biological systems combating threats. The intricacies of the body's defense mechanisms are vividly unveiled, fostering a deeper appreciation for its resilience.
Hello everyone, my name is Sarah Nouri. We're here in the Science Museum at Sheikh Abdullah Salem Cultural Center. Here we have 4 galleries. We have the human body, the healthy living, our blueprints, and the 4DX show.
Continues with an interactive laboratory offering hands-on exploration of the scientific principles governing the human body.
Kashif serves as an educational guide, making learning both informative and entertaining. This experiential learning environment provides a unique opportunity for hands-on exploration, turning the complexities of human biology into tangible knowledge. The exhibits contribute to a holistic understanding of health, emphasizing the interconnected nature of physical and mental well-being. Encouraging visitors to appreciate the remarkable resilience of the human body, the immersive journey instills awe and admiration for the intricate mechanisms that allow us to adapt, survive, and thrive. The overall experience aims to inspire curiosity and fascination about the marvels of our own existence.
Welcome back, dear viewers, after this amazing report. You know, it's one of the great ways of teaching a learning person is to have this great interaction, especially when it comes into knowing your human body. So this kind of exhibition that was presented in the center itself, the culture center of Sheikh Abdullah Salim, is something very magnificent and amazing and beautiful at the same time. More of an educational theme, more of an interaction, and also entertainment at the same time.
In addition, we'll talk about Abdullah Salim Cultural Center. It's one of the amazing destinations where you consider it as a touristic destination and even a technology destination and education destination for all the families, especially for the young kids, and even about the families as well, because the way if you're going there and you visit different types of museums, everyone have his own topic and a different way. They have like features, they have like 3D designs, they have like, you know, sculptures, like information, roll banners, everything included just to aware you, just to teach you, just to educate everybody about the amazing of the science. So we'll talk more about the anatomy. You know, our great body, it's created from Almighty Allah. He created in a very nice way, in a very beautiful way. So when you consider like a young children, when he see like a very big map and like a 3D design map, even with the sound and the voice and even movies, you will see how our body reacting with each other. So it's a good opportunity. Imagine if you bring a young kid and you're teaching him biology in a young age, how you eat a good food, you have to stay healthy, what's happened to your body all the time, what's happened if you drink water, what's happened if you eat food, what's happened if you eat vegetables, eat fruits, if you eat something not good food, how it harms your body, the type of your muscles. Even if you get injury, you will know, because you will see all shape together. So it's about everything. Human body, it's about water, it's about meat, it's about nerves, it's about more things. So it's a good opportunity just to learn the kids about the great of the human body. And even let's talk about the families. Families, they have a great opportunity just to learn, and they are teaching their children, even they are teaching themselves. You know, maybe sometimes we are all adults, and sometimes maybe we have a lack of information of some certain point. So if you go there, just you will see your kids surrounding all the museum, and you will get one of certain information. It's like good, okay, I learned something new. If you catch some notes about eyes, about ears, about noise, about the six senses, about something in your body, so you are also aware. So it's all place for, you know, education for all the family here.
Yes, indeed. And especially we're talking about the human body itself. You know, it's very one of the complex things to present it for, of course, the audience, and especially if we're talking about the young generation and the young kids themselves. So one of the great things is to have them enter in this great interaction, and it's more of a synchronized harmony being presented, especially talking more about how to connect the brain with the body and how it actually works, and also having that all around a certain, let's say, topic, which is trying to discover more about yourself and your body, and to present it more of a very beautiful synchronized way that is very easy for everyone to understand. Because, you know, we know that we're talking about school and education, and we know that kids are actually learning from primary school and primary stage when it comes into different kind of categories in science, talking more about human body and the brain itself. You know, different kind of topics always connected. Even when we're talking about the educational system, we know that it is actually connected. Like if you have English topic, English, Arabic, social interaction studies, you're going to see that they're all connected to the same topic. So when someone is, let's say, science talking more about human body, therefore you're going to see English subject is going to talk about the brain and how it functions and so on, and it also revives and goes goes around itself. So you can see everything is actually connected. So imagine having that being presented, a very complex topic, to make
and
it
a
very
very tiny,
simple.
tidy way.
Yes, and to make it very simple for the audience, different kind of age and perspective, and to be presented in a very positive way is something very encouraging, because once they enter, they're going to enjoy their time. They're going to explore. People, let's say, kids are like a sponge. They always say their brain is like a sponge. Whatever you give and water them, they're going to grow and take it all in, and then they're going to just enjoy it. So it's a fun, easy interaction way, and even the parents are going to learn more about it. So it's one of the greatest way to educate everyone about it.
And even it's imagine if they are doing like a live show, like they just
Yes.
want, they have like a very big
Yes.
like we call it a very like oil, not canvas, like maybe a certain, or maybe like an anatomy,
Yes.
a real anatomy, and just the good thing they designed with the holes all around your
It's more
body.
of a dimension figure.
Dimension figure, yeah. Thank you so much for telling me. I want to remember this word, dimensional figure. So imagine, you just want you to feel how your body works. So you just want to put a ball inside your mouth, and
Yes.
you see ball going around your body, all around, how it's already functioning your body. So it's good to aware the kids and even the families, adults, how your body works. Sometimes maybe we are not aware about how the beautiful of the bodies are. Maybe some people, they are not caring too much about their body. They do bad habits.
Yes.
So once they know, maybe they will change their bad habits to a good habits.
Indeed.
Maybe they'll quit something bad, maybe smoking, or maybe they will go into diet if they are fat, or maybe they suffered from obesity. The kids will get aware if they are getting more adults, they will know how to take a good care of their body. So it's a good opportunity, people, to learn about each other, and even to know more about something, like body faces challenge, and even undergo testing under attacks, how like your body works, how maybe bacteria affected you, maybe virus affected you, maybe something affected you. So you know how to interacting, how you are doing, how you are eating, how your bad habits, how you change it. You have to change your lifestyle.
Yes.
So when you go inside this kind of a museum and you're teaching all the families and the community, imagine 20 person goes in and then out there, and they are more like knowledgeable people, and have more high information. How many people goes in and their input output in certain location? You will see the good output, like people aware more about their bodies. So it's a good education, and very in a fun way, but very informative and very beneficial way.
Yes, indeed, and especially also aside to that, to talk more about the defense mechanism itself. Like we've been, especially if we're talking about our generation, like I've always remembered that there was more of a cartoon that used to resemble the way that human body works and how it actually defends itself when it comes to the different kind of virus. And to see, let's say, it's more of a capsule that let's say doctors or let's say people get in the body of the human, and you can see that when it comes into the details about how happens in the body. So this is more of a face-to-face interaction, a real interaction that happens, and it's very great to see, because we have red blood cells, we have white blood cells, and we try to always mix between them. Like, why do we have red? Why do we have white? We know that some of them, let's say, carries the initial things for the body itself, and start to present the oxygen for the body, because the blood actually takes that, and then we have this kind of defense. So it's very complex, it's very difficult, it's very challenging, but it actually simplifies it all for everyone, especially for everyone when it comes into that matter. So it's very great, it's very helpful and very amazing.
Very helpful, amazing, and very great. So dear viewers, that was our second topic for today. We're going to continue our second topic, but after this quick break. Stay tuned, let's go to this break, then we'll move on. Be with us.
So we're back, dear viewers, and to continue more about our topic itself, the second topic, we're talking more about a human body and how it interacts, especially when it comes into presenting it in matter in the cultural center itself. You know, a very important thing is to have this amazing and captivating 4D show that was actually presented, especially if we're talking more about the interacting character, talking more about Kashif.
You know, the icon, you know, the good thing when they brought something for the kids, every kind of an entertainment place should have like certain icons.
Yes.
Why they are always going with the K? Because K referred to the state of Kuwait.
Yes.
And also K, it refers something like people are gonna remember on. Kashif means open, means show, means share, means awareness. So I'd like to just to interact with the kids about the icon Kashif. So he's like a good thing, like just engaging with the children and give like a very informative information to the audience there and the visitors how our body goes. So
Yes.
it is interacting with them. They give them like certain information, knowledgeable information, something new to them, how to go, how it's happening to your body with the movies, with the 4D shows, 4D design. When he talks, he give like something information, so people, especially the kids, they were gonna remember it for the rest of their lives.
Yes.
Kashif, you have to be aware.
Yes.
He's always aware of you, he's always around you, he's always checking up on you. So you always have to take good care of your body. So we'd like to thank on behalf of our show Around Kuwait, the people who's working in the Abdullah Salam Cultural Center for doing a marvelous job, how to take a good care of the kids in a good way. Like, you know, like when you talk about the anatomy, it's a very like rich with diverse of too many rich informations. Some of them are very strong, some of them are totally serious, but if you like filter it in a very good way to make it easier for the children to attract them and attract even the adults, it's a good opportunity.
Yes, indeed, and especially, you know, it's very catchy to always, let's say, resemble or present these characters for young generation, because they're immediately going to have it stick in their mind. Kashif, the revealer, let's say, the one who reveals information and tell you more about what's happening, especially when it comes into that. Like I've mentioned previously, you know, talking more about the program where people used to go inside the body of the human through the capsule itself. That was really in my brain, and still I do remember how the body actually works through that kind of program. So having that being presented in the new generation, having Kashif, is something very great, very important, very educational at the same time. And I think one of the most important thing is to have the facility being recognized and being presented through even the Ministry of Information, the Ministry of Education itself also, because you're talking about, let's say, different kind of generation, different kind of students who want to learn, and we have different varieties of learners and educators who want to learn in different and, you know, interacting ways. So being presented, especially when it comes into the Sheikh Abdullah Salam Culture Center itself, it's very great, very amusing, and at the same time it gives more of a great information for everyone in a specific detail, but at the same time in a very enjoyable time itself. And it's very important to see how it actually started to illustrate the information. Like, you immediately could go and ask a question, you can find an answer, and you can find different kind of course, of solution and category in that matter.
And even when you mention about the question and answer, let's thank more the people who's working in Abdullah Salam Cultural Center, the employees and the volunteering. They're wearing like a certain costume and a certain figure, and you see them everywhere. They are answering the question. They have the good thing for how they are initiate all the time to helping the others, to helping the visitors. Even if you see them in the anatomy museum, they are there. They are guiding you. They are, you know, some families, maybe they are not going with the science, they just want to have fun, but they are going there, they are guiding you, they give you some information, they informative all the audience just to aware them about which place have to check, which place have to see, interacting with the visitor, with the kids, to make the place more enjoyable. Some people, maybe they miss the road, maybe they're going around the museum, they don't know how to go to the exit, they don't know about the entrance, maybe they don't follow the signs. So they are there just to helping them to make their visiting, and they are acknowledging more enjoyable and interactive with them. And we have to thank them because they have the art of initiative with their beautiful smile all the time, and they give them, or they show people always the way, and in a good way, and they give some information of them, like maybe and they are aware about the visitors. They are very clever and smart. Sometimes maybe they saw this guy maybe one of the visitors, maybe he wants to know more about certain way he's checking something, and he give them information. You have to check there if you want to know more about this kind certain topic, or maybe you have to go there. Maybe you are a big fan of something, you have to go there. So it's a good opportunity. Even we have to think them about how they are doing and dealing with the visitors. Families, maybe they are old people, maybe they are adult, maybe they are kids, maybe they are handicapped, maybe they are people with determination. The way how dealing with them, it's amusing and fascinating.
Yes, indeed. And to elaborate more on the experience itself, it is that they give the audience and the visitors more of a chance to explore an interactive laboratory, talking more about how great an interaction that they actually face during that time and matter itself, and to have them have, let's say, hand-on experiments itself to give them this kind of way in enjoying and exploring that kind of moment, because you know it's very important in order for you to understand science is to actually go through experience and to have the kind of the hands-on-hand more of, let's say, education and teaching and learning. Now this is kind of a method that is actually being associated with the Ministry of Education, and we have lots of and I think a lot of people familiar with that is when you see the sign do not touch, you immediately go and touch, because humans are really always have this curiosity of what could happen, what's next, how can this and how can that all happen in a specific, let's say, detail. So having that said, it's very important to know that hands-on-hand education is very important. Therefore, having this interactive laboratory is something very great and very amazing at the same time.
Very amazing, amusing, and very informative. Thank you so much, Eva, for sharing this great information from a teaching side. Thank you so much. So let's go to this next report reviews. Move on in your show around Kuwait with our next topic. Stay tuned.
Under the patronage of Badr Al-Attar, Managing Director of Planning and Finance, the local content forum convened at the Ahmed Al-Jaber Exhibition for Oil and Gas. Organized annually by the Local Content and Government Procurement Authority, the event serves as a pivotal platform to disseminate the essence of local content and advocate for its integration into both public and private sector operations. The forum's overarching goal is to foster a robust understanding of local content methodologies while promoting collaboration between diverse sectors to bolster domestic investment opportunities. Through insightful discussions and interactive sessions, participants delved into strategies for measuring and enhancing local content, emphasizing the pivotal role of cooperation between public and private entities.
We are today hosting the first event for encouraging local content in the Gulf and in Kuwait Petroleum Corporation and the subsidiaries. We are inviting today the oil sector from the Gulf countries as well as other entities from the Gulf countries to exchange practices that are related to increasing the local content in these companies and these countries. We are very pleased to have this first of its kind conference, whereby we hope that in the future there will be other conferences of the same kind. We are very pleased to see the young today presenting their practices so that we can get the best of them and exchange them in this conference.
Really delighted and grateful for Kuwait Petroleum Corporation to host this ICV forum, the first of its kind for the GCC national oil companies, and really delighted to be here. Of course, there are many programs or benefits or objectives of this gathering today, where we have mostly all the NOC companies participating. One of them is really to share lots of ICV programs, ICV policy, and ICV objectives for every company, and that's really will benefit the larger audience that are participating here today. Of course, second objective is really to share also the best practices from every company and the plans they've been doing for the last few years. And I really was happy and delighted to know the vast progress that's been made by every company, in applying local content or ICV principles in the companies they work for. For example, how really to embed ICV elements and ICV items in the contracts, existing one and going forward, and how to maximize localization, of workforce in these contracts. This is something that touches everybody in GCC countries, because the importance of the job seekers, and how to emphasize the national economies for every country. I think oil and gas and energy sector is playing vital role in this regard, and we are really kind of the leaders when it comes to applying local content. So once again, thank you to KPC and all NOCs, participating today. And really, I hope this will be there will be continuation of this multaqa, of this forum, for years to come.
With a visionary outlook, the forum aims to reinforce the significance of local content in nurturing national economic development. By creating a conducive environment for knowledge exchange and capacity building, the event strives to empower local capabilities and cultivate a thriving ecosystem for sustainable growth. The mission of the Local Content Forum is to provide a dynamic platform for awareness raising, knowledge sharing, and capacity building initiatives. By fostering strategic partnerships and leveraging regulatory frameworks and digital transformation, the forum endeavors to unlock untapped potential and drive inclusive economic development. Finally, the Local Content Forum stands as a cornerstone for advancing the integration of local content principles into the fabric of national economic strategies. Through collaborative efforts and innovative approaches, the forum serves as a hub for realizing the transformative power of local content in driving socio-economic progress.
Welcome back, dear viewers, and of course heading towards our third topic, talking more about the Gulf cooperation culture itself, and especially we're talking about the council itself when it comes into talking more about countries, talking about petroleum, and talking more about the diversities when it comes into having petrol, and what comes out of it is something very important, especially when we're talking more about this kind of collaboration and the more of the cooperative council that actually happens in that matter is very important. Exchanging information, exchanging knowledge, especially when we're talking about the Gulf countries, and of course what connects us with talking more about petroleum.
Because we're very proud about the GCC countries, what they are doing all the time, because we have the trade exchange, we have the cooperation with the recruitment, the trading, culture, events, and even more. So we talk about they are cooperate with, we call it the Kuwait Petroleum Cooperation with the GCC countries. We talk about the oil and gas. So that's why we are very proud about the GCC countries. During these days, even the days of the celebration, you will see His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mish'al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, may Allah protect him. He visited our brothers in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and by the invitation by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and they are talking more about certain different agreements. And then he moved about the different of the GCC countries, about the Sultanate of Oman. He spoke more about the opening for Al-Duqum already, petroleum station. So we talk more about the different industry in the GCC countries, and even the exchange of the recruitment of the GCC, because that's a good thing. When the people in the GCC countries, they are only focusing about the petroleum and even the economy and the industry. When we spoke about the economy, the main thing we're already providing and receiving and already sending, which is oil and gas, Hiba.
Yes, indeed, and especially that, as you just said, this is one of the most important thing, is to have this this all aligned when it comes into having the strategies, having the kind of knowledge, and exchanging that in that matter, because you're not dealing about one thing that is actually being presented in one country, but we're talking more about the GCC countries itself and the cooperation when it comes into that matter, because in the end, this is one of the most reviving, let's say, industry that we have. It's more of the economy, let's say, where our economy is reviving and depending on in that matter. So it's very important to always have this kind of, let's say, council being presented, and of course exchanging that knowledge. And one of the most important thing is to always be up to date on what is the things are happening in that matter, and I think it's very important.
And we are also following the steps of His Highness the Emir Sheikh Mishal Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Sabah, may Allah protect him, and all the officials of the GCC countries and even the emirs and the kings. That's why we are creating this kind certain events by the GCC countries, just to exchange about, because our destination and our circumstance is one. This is our slogan. That's why we're doing these certain events, and we are gathering all the esteemed speakers from the GCC countries and people are interested in the oil and gas field, especially in the KOC and the Jaber Al Oil and Gas exhibition, in Ahmedi. We've been there. We saw the opportunities and the development of this exhibition. I've been there too certain times. I saw the development. It's a great opportunity. I would like to invite everyone who's watching us through the KTV2, the expat and even the local people, just to have a visit there to see the progress of the oil and gas in the state of Kuwait. In the time with Ahmed Al Jaber, when he already opened when he put it on, and he have the very famous certain speech already being there. So it's a good opportunity to just have a visit there to see the good destination about this kind of exhibition. We'll talk about the GCC countries, it's worth mentioning. We'll talk about the Kuwaiti pioneers. Well, one of them is Badr Al-Attar, and even the others, Hiba.
Yes, indeed, and especially we're talking more about Badr Attar, who is actually the Executive Director of Planning and Finance at the Kuwait Petroleum Corporation itself, and of course emphasizing on the significance of diversifying itself when it comes into the income source through private sector, and talking more about that in detail, because in the end this is one of the most important deals when we're talking about that in matter, talking about it, how it actually affects that side itself, and how important is to emphasize on that power itself. And I think people are, as you just said, having that opportunity being presented for the audience to come and appear and present themselves and to hear what's happening is very important and educational at the same time, because this is when it comes into having ideas, when it comes into educating yourself and reviving that sector and trying to, let's say, know more about it and educate ourselves in that matter.
And even let's talk about the most important things, this kind of events and opportunities, just like to exchange the experiences from the expert of the field, from the GCC, because the development for one country is development for the all countries.
Indeed.
I guess that was our three main topics for today, Hiba.
Yes, indeed. So I'm very sure everyone enjoyed watching us, talking more about our three topics, especially when we're talking about the first, about the fusion of the culture that was presented through Korea, and the live cooking and the experience that everyone enjoyed.
I know everyone at that time with the 30 participants, and they are doing live cooking. It was a great opportunity. People exchange the techniques and the culture of the Korean food.
Yes, indeed. And of course, as we talked about our final topic, more about the Gulf Cooperation Council that was presented through the topic of the petroleum and gas, it was very important to talk more about it and to know that we are working all together as a GCC country in improving that sector.
And additionally, spoke more the anatomy, the journey of the human body in Abdullah Salim Cultural Center, how we talk more about this certain topic, how people are eager to go there and learn more about the anatomy and how our body goes. So I guess these are about our three main topics for today.
Yes, indeed. And always remember to be more effective and know more about your body and yourself through Kashif. I think everyone is going to enjoy it.
So these dear viewers, we reached the end of our episode for today. Hope you enjoyed our segment. See you next time when Around Kuwait. Have a good day.